His grandfather had a dream. But when he quit school after the 6th grade to shine shoes on the East Boston ferry boat and help his family, his dream felt almost out of reach. But he never gave up. The year was 1910 when Max Grossman walked into a neighborhood bank and said, "If you give me a small loan, I'll never stick you for a dime." At that moment, a tradition and a family business began. When Steve Grossman took over the family business, he never forgot what his grandfather taught him, that how you treat people, how you fight for people's rights and for their dignity are what matters, what counts. So when the doctors told Jimmy Lynch he had throat cancer and he wasn't able to work for 6 months, Steve Grossman didn't weigh his options. He told Jimmy Lynch he'd receive full pay until he recovered. When Sheila Ryder thought she'd have to quit her job to adopt a baby girl and to care for her, Steve Grossman refused to let her quit. He told her to take 6 months paid leave. 3 years later, when Sheila adopted a boy, she received the same paid leave. Sheila Ryder's commitment to her children and her dedication and hard work provided them with hope and opportunity. And last month her son graduated from college, as his sister had before him. Steve Grossman is not the hero of these stories. Sheila Ryder and Jimmy Lynch are. Because Steve Grossman knows that tough times never last, but people do. And in that same tradition, Treasurer Steve Grossman created the Small Business Banking Partnership to make loans to those with a dream and create Massachusetts jobs. Eleanor Arpino launched a new restaurant and hired 40 people. A small tech company found a way to bring jobs that had been outsourced to China back to Massachusetts. These are the heroes. There will always be candidates who search only for what is acceptable, for what is expedient, avoiding controversy at all costs. And then there are those who aren't afraid to take progressive stands, not for show, but for real, to stand up for what's right, with a courage that is often quiet, often behind the scenes, often hard. Those of us who fought for marriage equality know Barbara and Steve Grossman were there, long before it became acceptable for politicians who play it safe. Those of us who are in the struggle against senseless gun violence know Steve Grossman will stand his ground against the gun lobby. He knows what's at stake. The lives and dignity of people matter. It is simply who Steve Grossman is, and it says a lot about the kind of governor he will be, the progressive leader we need to take on the tough fights. Steve Grossman, Democrat, for governor.